Hello all my fellow artists and welcome back to Life Cues Week 6. I'm still in Las Vegas, or my mom's friend says Lost Wages, and so I'm going to work on Week 6. And before we get started, I just want to say welcome to all the new subscribers. Welcome to all you artists out there that have plunged in and decided to join us. I am loving seeing the work on Facebook. It's just so fun. And even if you're not posting on Facebook, some of you I noticed are making videos, so I'm watching those. I'm trying to see them all. There used to be a way to respond when you're making a comment on YouTube, and it says respond with a video. So if I can figure that out, I'll let you know if you know how to do that. So if you do know how to do that, you are making videos, respond to the appropriate video with your video so other people can see them as well or find them. So this week's video, let me find my card page right here. I like when the card's already blank, then you don't have to gesso it or anything, because I don't have any gesso. I do have white paint, that works for gesso just as well. So, you know, when you're I'm showing you guys how to use limited. That is it for supplies. I've had a couple of people ask me to do a video of kind of like the basics for art journaling. I'll do that when I get home because I don't have enough supplies here to do that. But when you've done it for a long time, it's kind of easier to make do and make shift because I kind of know what I can use this for this. But if you're just beginning, I'll do it when I get home, kind of like a art journaling 101, just the basic things that you might want, the basic inks if you're wanting to go out and purchase stuff. So, without further ado, let's get on to our question for this week. The question is, it's kind of a twofold question, so you can answer whichever one you want to answer. It's entirely up to you. Do you have a secret, like a lifelong secret that you haven't told anybody, but you're dying to tell somebody? You can always tell your journal, always, and I'm going to show you some really cool ways to do that without anybody ever knowing. And also, the next one is, are you a good keeper of secrets? If somebody has told you a secret, are you a good keeper of secrets? I am a very, very, very good keeper of secrets, almost to a fault. Probably about 20 years ago now, one of my really good friends, like I don't see her anymore, and I don't know if it has to do with that secret or whatever, but something very tragic happened to her. And she came to me right after it happened and made me swear I would never tell anybody. So I never did. But I observed things happening in her life, like she was becoming distant from her husband and her family, and I knew if they knew what had happened, it would make a difference. But my loyalty lied with her. Not only did she ask me not to say anything, she begged me not to say anything. And it wasn't my place to be the do-gooder or the fixer or try to go in there and say, well, you know, if you guys only knew this, it might make a difference. It was not my place to do. Much as I wanted. My heart was just, oh, that was so hard. But that is how good of a secret keeper I am. If you tell me something and you don't want anyone to know, no one's going to know. I've got so many secrets in my heart, sometimes it feels like it's going to explode, but that's just who I am. And as far as having a secret, I did have a lifelong secret, and I shared it with a couple of people just a little while ago, and it felt so good to be able to share it because I'd been wanting to, and it's just such an amazing story, but I can't share it with you guys. But if you want to share something like that in your journal, I'm going to show you a couple of ways how you can sort of like get it off your chest, put it somewhere. Like sometimes writing something down is enough, like to just put it somewhere, but we don't want anyone to read it. So you can, first of all, take a pen or a pencil or something. I'm going to use this one because I don't want it to bleed through when I go to paint it. or a pencil. I might even use a pencil. I think I'll use a pencil. And I'm going to write my secret all over this card. And then I'm going to cover it up with paint. But oh, I know it's there. I've let it out. I put it somewhere. But no one will ever be able to read it. So I'm going to do that and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm showing you the process of me getting rid of my secret. And I'm also very emotional right now as I'm doing this. But it's a good thing. Like, it's in my journal and I know it's here. So once I get some more words covered, I'll show you what I'm doing. There, see? I just did it in pencil and just swirling around and covering up all those words. And it's funny, I know they're there. It's like I've put it down because sometimes secrets are very, very hard to hold in your heart. And you want to tell somebody, but you can't. Although I have, and I'm much the better off for it. But I wish I had done this before. Like when it's just something you hold in your heart, it can be anything. So yeah, there is my secret. Goodbye, secret. Oops, I got paint on my other page. I better go and watch what I'm doing so I don't wreck all my journal. My paint is all dry and very shiny, and underneath it are my secrets forevermore to stay under there. So the next thing I want to try to do is draw some lips or a mouth. So I think I'll do it in pencil because it's almost like, pencil can almost be like a chalk, you know what I mean? Because it's a little bit lighter. Just so I can see it a little bit. So I'm going to get that drawn. I'll be right back. So I took the end of a paintbrush, like not the brush end, but this end, and dipped it in the red paint there, and traced over my pencil drawing of my lips. So they're a little wonky, but that's okay. Can't be perfect. And I'm just waiting for that to dry. So while that's drying, I just took some white paper here, right here, and I tore it on an angle. And I'm about to do the same thing. It's just a piece of scratch paper I had, and I put it down there. And I was mentioning before, if you wanted, there's another way you can keep your secrets in your journals. Because one thing you have to remember, I was very, very, very extremely careful with who I trusted with my secrets. Because once you tell a secret, it is no longer a secret. Once it's out there, it's out there. And sometimes those kind of things can be very damaging to people or to others or to loved ones or whatever. I'm not meaning to, but, you know, if somebody doesn't want to be very nice and tells your secret, so that's why it's better off not telling anybody. If it's really something that you think, mine is different, but if it's something that you think might hurt someone, then keep it to yourself. But if you need to get it off your chest, braid it underneath here like I did and paint over it. Or you can make a secret code. So just like when kids were little and they had secret language. So I made one here. So for every letter of the alphabet, there's a symbol. And I just made the symbols up, like whatever. And you don't know if it's A starts here or in the middle. Like you mix it all up so nobody can decode your message. And so on the bottom corner, I'm going to put my coded message here across the bottom. And so that is how sure I am of my system that nobody will be able to figure it out. I can actually put it out there in the open, my secret, but it's coded. So it's only like, it's kind of like between you and your journal, like this thing you have going on. So while I'm waiting for my lips to dry, are they dry? Not quite. I'm going to cut out, I took this, you know those coupon books you can get, like this one's from Vegas, and it's called 24/7. It's got all the lists of all the different shows and stuff. So I'm going to cut out little tiny squares of just darkness and collaginess, and like over here. just in little squares, and I'm going to collage them all inside my lips there. Okay, here's my finished page, and I had to finish the page because it's really hard for me to work and pick up my iPad, which is the only camera I have, but I'll explain what I did. So there's those little tiny pieces that I cut out of the magazine. Can you see them there? Filling in the lips, and then I just took the back of the paintbrush and went across it again to make the mouth. And then I glued the lock to the key here because it's locked. Secrets. You know, you lock the key and throw it away. And I've placed the key on top of 2 feathers just as a reminder that once a secret is out, it's like as fleeting as a feather. It's out there and it can go wherever. So trust your heart and trust your soul. Trust your people. Trust your sister friends. Or don't tell anybody. I am going to put out a disclaimer there that my secret, my husband knows about my secrets. So he's like my best friend. So he knows everything about me and I know everything about him. But if this video is going to prompt you to come clean with something or tell a friend or a spouse or a sibling something you've been holding back, think before you do that, because I don't want anybody to have some life-altering, life-changing thing just because they got moved when they were art journaling. Unless you really, really want to do that, but I'm just wanting you to think on it first. So there's my little secret code. So 2 ways to hide secrets: under your journaling or in a little code there. And for here, I just did I took a black Sharpie, ultra fine, and just went woo woo and then boo doo, like little swirls, and then a line and a dot dot dot, or you can do line 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 dot dot dot, all kinds of ways to do doodling. Secrets, I just put little triangles on the ends of my letters. I made them a little swirlier, and then down here, well, it's just a whole humble jumble of stuff. And then I took some white paint on the back of a paintbrush and just did groups of 3 little dots. I dipped the back of the paintbrush in the white paint and dot, 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 like that. So there's my page on secrets. Are you a secret keeper or do you have a secret? And I do not want you to share your secret with me. I'm not asking that. I'm just saying sometimes we want to put it somewhere. Like there's, you want to put it, like journal it, but you're afraid someone's going to read your journal. And on that note, I think reading someone's journal is one of the most disgraceful things you can do. When somebody is journaling, especially writing journaling, that is part of their soul on that page. And some people need to put their stuff on the page. And for you to go in it and read it without their permission is horrible, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. Unless they've told you can read it. Like you see, my art journals are an open book. They just are. But my written journals, that's a different story. Like, I don't want anybody going in my journals unless I've told them that they can read something. Because I just think sometimes people need to express themselves in the written word, and they want to put it on paper. And they should know that the people that are near and dear to them trust that they aren't going to do that. I told my daughter, she's been journaling since she was 12 years old, and I told her if she ever passed away, knock on wood, God forbid, that I would burn her journals and no one would read them, and because she needs to put her feelings out on paper. And I think it's like going in somebody's mind and reading their mind. I don't know, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about that. But anyway, so but this is another way to hide your journaling. Except you might want to come back and read it at another date. But whoopsie, my key wasn't dry. But anyway, those are just my opinions on secrets. They're very fragile. People are very fragile. Your hearts are fragile. Your soul is fragile. Your being is fragile. And you don't want to do anything to you or anybody else that might upset that fragility. So keeping a secret, I guess it's okay. It's your business. So I'm not here to judge anybody. And if somebody asks you, can you keep a secret, and you know that you cannot, Say, no, I can't keep it. Don't even tell me. We're so nosy. We want to know. Oh, sure, I can keep a secret. Tell me. And then you phone someone. Guess what? So if you can't keep a secret, just say no, because that person is trusting in you for that reason. Like, can I trust you to keep this secret from me? And maybe they're needing advice. And sometimes you can help them through that by saying, well, maybe you should tell somebody, or you should, you know what I mean? Because maybe something's happening to somebody that they need help and they need to tell someone. But, it's such a fine line. It's such a, because when you think of people that are being abused or children that are being abused and they're told to keep a secret, it's a totally, I'm not talking about that kind of stuff, but you guys know what I mean. So are you a secret keeper? And do you have a secret? Okay, that's it for this week. Oh, I have to write the date on here. It is February 7th, or it will be when you guys see this. Today is not February 7th, but when you see this video, it will be February 7th. So I will put that right here. February 7th, 2015. Okay, you guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for playing along, and we will see you next week. Bye.